Damp woodlands, it's not as poetic as that, it's not as nice as that, it's just a nasty dampness, unfortunately. Hello and welcome to, in fact, let's change that. It's good to see you. How's things going? Welcome to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today, yeah, that sounds better. We have Blair Athol 11-year-old by Berry Bros and Rudd. It's bottled at 55.7% ABV, non-chill filtered, no added colouring, and it's cask number 4599, which I'm assuming must be single cask. Distilled in 2007 and bottled in 2019, making it 11-year-old. So it's got a little spiel on the back there about the flavour profiles and things. I'll read that later once I've done my own tasting notes, but I do want to read what it says about Blair Athol here. Blair Athol is located to the south of Pitlochry in the Vale of Athol, Perthshire. This area is often described as the gateway to the Highlands. The foliage-covered distillery buildings have occupied the site since 1798, making Blair Athol one of Scotland's oldest distilleries. So yeah, Blair Athol distillery isn't actually located in Blair Athol itself, it's located in Pitlochry. So I've prepared this earlier and I feel like Blue Peter there, and we'll get down to the nose. The nose is quite sour initially. With time in the glass like I've given it, it opens up, you get midget gems, a kind of fruit, gummy, sweet. There's a little bit of honey, a little creaminess. There's damp chipboard, so recently we had a little leak in our toilet, fresh water luckily, not anything disgusting, and the chipboard got a little damp and there was a horrible damp chipboard smell, and that's what's in this whisky, unfortunately a little off-putting. There's also fun snaps, a little kid's prank toy thing. It's got like a little bit of explosive in it, and it's wrapped in paper, and you throw it on the ground and it bangs. It snaps. I think the explosive is called something like silver fusilame or fusilweight, whatever. I googled it, and that's what I can smell. It's not quite sulphur, but it's whatever that is. So if you've experienced that, hopefully you can relate to the smell. Yeah, it's a little prickly on the nose. Not the most amazing nose. There are some redeeming qualities there with the midget gems, the fruitiness from these gummy sweets. But overall, quite a rough nose. The palate, a nice mouthfeel, although I am wincing a little. There's a sour potato, raw potato, a real souring taste in this whisky. It's almost like a cheap whisky, like Bell's or something. I know Blair Athol was used in Bell's, but it's not even as good as Bell's. It's something cheaper. It's like the whisky you get in kind of whisky memorabilia or whisky tourist traps when you go visit some places like this, and they're selling a kind of cheap blended whisky that no one knows what it is. It's chill filtered to an inch of its life, 40% ABV. It's got added colouring, and it comes along with some horrible glasses or some, I don't know, postcards or something like that. It's just not nice, unfortunately, and I hate to say this about a Blair Athol whisky because I'm a big enthusiast of Blair Athol malt and the distillery itself. When we first opened this, it was beautiful. It was probably one of the best whiskies I'd tried that year, but as it's gone down, the more oxygen, the more whiskey I've drunk, it's just got worse and worse. It had so much potential, such unique flavours in it, and I don't know what's happened. It's soured, it's went off, the cork's still in there intact, it's not the cork, I don't know if the oxygen's caused this, but it's just went from worse to worse, unfortunately. And I was hoping the further I got down, I'm now halfway down, that it would redeem itself, go back 180. The finish is long, medium long. It's the best part about the whisky because it's finished, it's over. It's nutty, drying, there's oak, a little bit of creaminess. Definitely got that kind of real nuttiness, but overall this whisky's just not up to mark, unfortunately. It's definitely a whisky bin, and I hate to say that. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happened, Berry Bros and Rudd. It might just be my own experience. I wonder if anybody else has had an experience with this with other whiskies, where it's been good and then it's just soured somehow. I'd love to know your thoughts. Please put a comment in. But yeah, we'll read what it says on the for the palate tasting notes on the bottle. This fine Highland dram opens up with the aromas of rich fruitcake, clove and orange, gradually developing more earthy notes of bark chips and damp woodland with time. Now that's time as in the concept, the duration, and not time as in the herb. So damp woodlands is quite intriguing because I said damp chipboard, damp woodlands, it's not as poetic as that, it's not as nice as that, it's just a nasty dampness, unfortunately. The palate is luscious and full, showing notes of brandy butter, melon and bacon spices, along with Blair Athol's trademark stewed apple notes. Cocoa lingers on the palate, with waves of warm spices and Dundee cake. I don't know what Dundee cake is, I probably should. It's probably something Scottish, and I'm Scottish, I probably should know that. This is a dram that transports you to the serene banks of the River Tummel, which is the river that runs through Pitlochry and Blair Athol. It doesn't transport me there, it kind of makes me want to avoid there. If this was my first Blair Athol, it'd probably put me off Blair Athol whiskies. It's just, it doesn't represent what that distillery can output, can produce, unfortunately. So like I said, a whiskey bin. I hope this hasn't been too negative. I hate doing videos like this. I hate making videos where the whiskey just turns out to be not great. But unfortunately there's whiskies like that out there. There's whiskies that I might not enjoy that others might enjoy. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Hopefully I'll just keep drinking it. Hopefully it'll open up and change again. But unfortunately at this moment in time it's a whiskey bin. Thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.